Last month, I opened my closet and didn't recognize a single thing. I realized that my closet was sabotaging me until I did this. Hi, my name is Haley and welcome to Clever as a Foxy. This is my channel where I document figuring myself out through what I wear, what I consume, what I believe. Also behind the scenes of the book that I'm currently writing. A place for all clever and foxy girls, and I'm so happy that you are here. Last month, I went through my extremely overwhelming, overflowing closet, and I realized I could no longer recognize myself in these clothes. I saw past versions of myself. I saw the person that I want to become. I also saw impulse buys from doom scrolling at 2 a.m. I saw these clothes that looked amazing on others that I purchased with the hope of them having that same effect on me, only to purchase it, try it on, it not fit me or be my style or be something that I gravitate towards, and then it just sits in my closet. My closet was overflowing. I'm not even kidding you guys. And it needed a purge. And I'm so glad it did because it taught me so many things. I will say that I believe that our closets are tied to our identity. I also feel like it can be an extension of our brains. And when it is messy, it's like I can't even compute a normal thought. Once I cleaned it out, I realized that I had no idea who I was dressing for. And today we're going to go through fashion as a way to express ourselves and how it closely ties into identity. When we buy clothes without knowing who we are, that's when overconsumption happens. Fashion and manifestation. So I'm a bit of a woo-woo girly myself, also a fashion lover. I work in the fashion industry and it is one of my favorite things ever. I think that we share so much of ourselves through our fashion choices without even realizing it. I mean, we can think back to Devil Wears Prada when Miranda is explaining how even our lack of fashion choices are saying something. And just me personally, I've always muted my style down because I had a fear of being seen. It really has tied into my visibility wounds that I've been trying to heal. So I'll be able to express myself more freely. But what I'm trying to get at here is I muted my style, hence muting myself. So I had these pieces in my closet, some of them that I loved, but I wouldn't wear them because I felt like it was like too much, or someone would judge me, or someone would look at me weird, when in reality, fashion really should be something that shows the inside of us to others. So let's talk about clothing and manifestation and how I was hurting myself and potentially you are hurting yourself by not dressing like your identity. Clothing plays a huge part in our lives and the story that we tell ourselves, as well as what we tell other people. I'm just going to read this off of here. But as Dr. Carolyn Mayer, chartered psychologist and author of The Psychology of Fashion, explains, research on enclothed cognition suggests that what we wear can influence how we think and behave. Clothing carries symbolic meaning, and when we wear items and hold strong beliefs in the associated traits, such as professionalism, creativity, or authority, it can subtly shift attention, confidence, and behavior to align to those meanings. It means that we can create our reality through the clothes that we wear. I'm not saying that you're going to be able to just quantum leap by the clothes that you're wearing, but I'm saying that it is a huge stepping stone to get there. And I really believe that we can create our reality through our clothing. For example, if you want to become a boss babe businesswoman, you can't be wearing sweatpants outside of the house. If you want to become a boss babe businesswoman, dress in the way that your brain sees that. So there's not one answer for this. But for me, when I think of like a boss babe businesswoman, I think of someone from those early 2000s rom-coms in the media industry. That's always been my dream. I've always romanticized that time. So I love to pick out clothes and inspiration and ideas from those types of movies because that's what I associate success with. So dressing like the person we want to become will help us reach our goals and our manifestations quicker. And I think this is a really fun way to play with manifestation. For example, I'm writing a book. When I write, I love to put on like a big chunky sweater. I put on my cute glasses. I make myself a coffee. I get the vibe right to become the person who is a writer. Like I said, this looks different for everyone. This looks different for your dreams. Really lean into this and you'd be amazed at what you could find. I mean, this also goes for the opposite effect. Like if you're someone who's really trying to attract abundance, attract success, you don't want to dress in a way that your brain doesn't even think that's possible for you. And I'm guilty of this. Whenever I leave the house in sweatpants or a sweatshirt, I don't feel comfortable in networking or giving out my business card or meeting with someone and sharing my ideas. Like I feel like I wouldn't, when I'm in those situations and I'm not dressed in the way that I feel comfortable expressing myself, even try. So what I'm trying to say here is give yourself the opportunity to succeed. Because if you're going out of the house and you randomly meet someone that potentially could help you get from point A to point B, and you don't even feel like you could approach them because you're not wearing something that expresses you or expresses the person that you want to be, and you're screwed. Next thing for the person that you want to become in your own closet. So I first want you to ask yourself, what makes you feel good to wear? Because, you know, we can look at all of these vision boards and inspiration pictures, but if it's not something that you will physically want to put on your body, then that's a waste. I had so many of these things in my closet where I was like, oh, like that would be really cute. It's not me. Like it's not who I am. So I would never pick it out of my closet and it would just take up space being a, you know, what if one day I decide that I'm this completely different person that enjoys wearing full skirts and a loose button up. Like that's just not something I gravitate towards ever. And I also want you to think about what colors and styles you enjoy wearing, but also what looks best on you. Because when we look our best and feel our best, that's when we're going to be able to attract different things from the universe. If we're feeling really closed off and uncomfortable and not good in our skin, then that's what our brain is going to be focused on, not anything else. And then I also want you to think about what pieces you could incorporate into a vision board. And then, like I said before, also thinking about the person that you want to become and what clothing they wear. You know, like I mentioned before, I want to be talking to you about fashion, so I'm going to wear something that like is pretty cool, which is why I picked out this top today. And I also am a writer, so I pick out like muted tones, earthy tones, sweater, things that just make me feel like the version of myself that I want to be. I really do think the best place to start is getting rid of things. And it's not going to be easy. You know, you want to start by figuring out what your dreams are and what your identity is and what type of person you're wanting to be. And then look at your closet and be brutally honest about the pieces that you have and get rid of those that are no longer serving you. You don't want those pieces to hold you back from the person that you could be. You want to be able to make room for that person that you could be. So get rid of stuff, leave room. Don't spend all of your money buying a new wardrobe right away. Slowly build that up. And then from there, if things from your closet don't no longer serve where you're going to be, you can get rid of those and then purchase new items piece by piece, bit by bit. It also really curates your wardrobe then. And I do believe that it is so important to leave space in our wardrobe just because we need to be able to leave space for the person that we're becoming and that we want to be. And you don't want to feel like anchored back in this version of yourself when you're blossoming into someone new. I also want you to take into account the pieces that you constantly are grabbing day by day, and buy versions of those that make sense for the person you are and the person that you want to be. I'm not saying that you should, you know, buy clothes that are too tight or don't fit you this way, but like one day might fit you in the way you want it to. That's not helpful at all. But that's also a way that clutter forms is you keep holding on to these pieces that one day might fit in the way you want them to. Just get rid of those, make space for the person that you are and the person that you're becoming. And I really think that this needs to come at the intersection of comfort, wearability, your current self, and your dream self. Tell me in the comments, when you think of your dream self, what are they wearing? I'm super curious. So how do we locate clothes that we actually want to wear? Now, I'm going to go even further back here. I'm not going to tell you how to, find the right style or find the right colors. I first want you to take out a piece of paper, a journal, a pen, and really figure out who you are and the person that you want to be. Our clothes are a tool that we use to show people who we are on the inside. And the really fun thing about that is that no one knows who we are on the inside, so we can show up as whoever we want to be. Really take that in. Like, you can show up however you want to in this world. You want to just completely reinvent yourself, you totally can. Let me know if you would want any journaling prompts or anything in the future, because I've done a lot, trust me. Your closet isn't just storage, it is a mirror. Clean it out and you'll be able to see yourself more clearly too. Thank you so much, guys. This was fun, and I will see you next week.